Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivian Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 491. It is Friday. Here in Cincinnati, it is beautiful. The weather is supposed to be filled with sunshine all weekend. We are, I think, Venus trine Jupiter on Sunday in that energy, which is very much about play and fun and social and connection and harmony. So as we arrive into this podcast space, the energy feels really good, really peaceful and sweet. And the title for today is Studying Ourselves, because next week we have a full moon and a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. We also have the autumn equinox coming up a few days later. I think Venus is going to move into Scorpio. Sun is moving into Libra. Like, whoa, there's going to be quite a lot of shifting energy that will be happening next week with the underlying current of Pluto retrograde Capricorn. What does that mean? It's so funny. I never used to study astrology, and now I get just these little nuggets where I'm like, whoa. And then I want to tell everybody, because I just keep finding how astrology is this language, this blueprint that is constantly offering us guidance and helping us prepare for whatever the next shift in consciousness or awareness is going to be. And when we can keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening with astrology, Jade is joining us, I believe it's like a secret weapon, or not weapon, like a secret gift, or the password book, the what did they call that when we were Cliff Notes? It's like the Cliff Notes before we even open up the book. We're getting this little sneak peek at what's available for us. And right now, we could use all the sneak peeks that are accessible. So I bring it forward today. Jade is settled in here on my lap. She's like, yeah, we're going to help steady everybody. The transmission or energy that Jade and I send to you, my cat, send to you today, is just this really grounded steadiness and centeredness within ourselves, that we already have all the resources, tools, energetics inside of ourselves that we need to make empowered decisions, to navigate clearly and confidently in our lives. And as the collective energy shifts, as the astrology starts to move, we can come back to that centered space, steady ourselves, breathe, and then like move through whatever is going to be shifting for us next in a grounded way. Can you hear her purring? She's like, I'll help. Yeah, because ultimately, I really believe that this life that we are choosing to have, this soul embodiment, being here in a physical form, I believe we choose it because we want the adventure. As a soul, we want the lessons, we want to grow, we want to come here into this human form and co-create with other souls in a physical way, in a tangible, emotional depth, that as souls, we already know everything, but to feel it, to experience it, to have a physical construct brings this other whole level of magic to what we know as souls. And so because we choose it, I believe we're here for all of it. And can we, as we're navigating, steady ourselves and then find the beauty, the play, the adventure, the zest for life that brought us here originally as the soul. I think sometimes we get overwhelmed by the day-to-day, the drudgery, the routine, the overwhelm, the expectations of others, the expectations on ourselves, and it just starts to weigh us down. And this podcast, Gaia's Love, and my voice, and the stories and the energy I bring are to keep reminding us that there's a bigger picture at play. There's this vast consciousness that is our infinite soul, always underneath every human experience, every human moment. And the more that we can tap into that and remember that and allow that immensity of our expression, that bigness of who we are to come through into our human creations, the more fun it becomes, the more magic starts to happen in our lives, and the synchronicities, the alignment, the spark, everything is more when we're letting our soul guide our human. I just read in Insight Timer some excerpts from The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. It's the book that we were reviewing this week on, I think it was Monday. And that book pushes my edges because in the book, he says yes to everything. Whatever someone brings forward, he's like, yes, yes. Me, I'm like, maybe not. Maybe, no. I'm not a yes to every single thing. But the more we can say yes to what life presents us, his theory is the more life actually carries us without our resistance, and it will carry us into places beyond what our human mind is able to conceptualize when we're trying to control it. So steadying ourselves is this reminder to pause, to be fully present here, and then to allow ourselves to expand our potential, expand our capacity, expand our awareness, expand our listening, to receive more from the universe, from our soul, from our guides, from ourselves, and let that current actually guide us. So we steady ourselves here in this moment, coming to full presence, and we feel how much support and structure and encouragement there is around us energetically. And then when we move forward, it's from like a more confident, grounded trust. It's like our back, our spine is straighter, our shoulders are relaxed, not hunched over, our heart chakras are open, our chin's up, we're looking forward, like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. Because the astrology it's layered, and I feel like it's conflicting in some ways. There's this review that we are being offered with Pluto and Capricorn. Look back all the way to 2008 and understand, gain the wisdom of the cycles that we have been moving through. That's a lot. That's a lot of reflection and contemplation. So there's this powerful completion current that is happening with Pluto retrograde now through October 13th, and then Pluto goes forward in Capricorn. So we have this analysis, introspection, contemplation, exhaling out what's ready to go, taking the gems. In Astro Butterfly, she has an amazing article that I'll link in the description today. In the article, she says it's the end of an era. And it's like the scientist bringing the final results of all the experiments forward and writing the conclusion. That's what we're in right now. The conclusion from everything from 2008 until now. That's 16 years. It's almost a lifetime. I mean, for some people, it may be half of their life. If you're listening to this. For me, I was 37. I'm now 53. Like, whoa. Who I was at 37 compared to who I am now. I feel like two very different expressions of my soul in human form. How do I summarize that or contemplate that to bring through the magic, the gems, the essence of what I've been exploring? What helps us is the connection to Capricorn themes. So how have we stepped into our own authority and let go of the authority of others over us? How have we claimed our power and handed back the power to others who have wanted to control us? Where have we taken places where the energy, the structure is very hierarchical and brought that to a place of more equality within our own lives? This is an individual internal review. I mean, you can do the collective at the same time if you want, but I feel like there's so much already printed and shared about that. The only one who can do your individual review is you. Jade is like whacking her tail. She's like, yes, you are the only one who will have access to that internal perspective. Are you giving yourself the time for that? And can you do it from a place of deep curiosity and, what's the word? It's deeper than curiosity. It's like you really want to know, you want to understand, you want to embody. That's the word. Can you do it from a place of deep embodiment? I want to see it, I want to understand it, and I want to actually bring it in and let it land inside of myself. That is an amazing way to complete this energy with Pluto and Capricorn. And it takes time and space for that. I mean, maybe you can juggle with everything else, but for me, I need to shut out some of the external activity and noise and be with myself and feel and listen to what's happening inside of me. As we embody that, we carry it forward with us permanently. It's now part of who we are. It's not just a lesson that we've read in a book somewhere. We've brought it into ourselves, and Jade, she's so cute. We've brought it into ourselves, and we now are that frequency, that integration. I mean, how beautiful. She's so cute. She's just purring away, sending you guys so much love. So that's Pluto and Capricorn. I mean, that's the underlying current right now. And I believe Astro Butterfly's article offers really beautiful guidance with some journal prompts. So if all of this is new to you, or you're listening to me, you're like, this is just so much, read the article and take a little time with what she says. She calls it the end of an era. It is a completion of a big part of a big chunk of our lives. And when we can embody and integrate the essence of what was being brought forward for us, Jade's like half on, half off. And when we can embody that, it's like the image I see is we're standing at a door, and behind us is everything that has happened since 2008. So maybe it's a long corridor, and there's a door we walked through in 2008. And in this hallway are all the things that we've been playing with, learning, understanding, letting go of, opening. And it's behind us now. And we're standing at the door, and this next door is Pluto in Aquarius. It's a whole different frequency. It's a whole different, Trevor Hall says, we're in a different room now. We're going to be in a different room starting December, after we move in November 19th into Aquarius. December, January next year, we're going to be in a different room. The collective frequency is going to feel different. As we stand at the door, can we straighten ourselves and plant our feet on the ground and feel the power of everything that we have moved through, that we have experienced in human form, can our soul call all of that wisdom into the humanness that we are. And as we get ready to open the door, we step through it more empowered, more sovereign, more in our own authority than ever before. Like, we know more of who we are now. And we step through that doorway clearer than the last doorway 16 years ago, more in alignment with our purpose than the last door 16 years ago. And when we do that from this really clear, empowered way, you can feel it. It's a frequency inside of yourself. It's like, I'm ready for this next chapter. I'm so ready. Let's do this. What's the next doorway? And what am I going to create from here? Who am I going to become? When I cross through this door, this threshold, and I step into the next hallway, I'm ready for the adventure. I'm not dragging myself across the threshold. I'm not looking back because I haven't figured it out or claimed it or explored it or contemplated it. I'm going. Let's do this. It's a very different frequency than I don't understand what the lessons are. I can't name it or feel it, or I'm unaware. She is whacking her tail on this chair. You'll probably hear it in the sound. Jade is like, there is a lot of energy that we're going to move together. Can you hear that? She doesn't speak a lot, this cat. She's very quiet, unlike other cats. She's very quiet, but her tail sends a little whip. A little whip through the airwaves. Jade, we need a sound effect button that is Jade's tail. It's really funny. My cat and my dog, not the other cat, just this one and the dog, have made themselves very vocal in a lot of my creations recently. Jade comes into, she's like, okay, I'm done now. I put my sound into the audio and now I'm going to go do my thing. My dog was barking in an Insight Timer event on Thursday. Jade climbed on my lap and wanted to be part of it, put her head up in the video. Like, these animals are claiming their fame in whatever ways are apparently appropriate for them. That's the other thing. Can't we be a little more real and a little more silly at times and have some fun with this journey? I think for myself especially, I feel like I try to always present as polished and we've got this together. I'm very professional. And also, I'm a messy human. I have animals that don't always cooperate with what I want them to do in the moment, that want to do their own thing. There's life happening and it's fun. I mean, that's the point of it, is that we get to laugh at ourselves and not be quite so serious and perfect and polished. We're just real. We're real. So that's where I am. So studying ourselves, it's like finding the center. I just created a really beautiful meditation for the full moon in Pisces, which is next week on, I think, Wednesday. And it's uploading to Insight Timer right now, so you can find it as a free track on Insight Timer, probably in the next couple of days. But it was very much about a guided process or visualization to steady ourselves within the center of ourselves, to find our own balance point, and then to breathe into that and to create a process for ourselves that in any moment where things are intense or it feels like the collective current gets more volatile or more rocky, we just come back to that centeredness within ourselves. And so that meditation is available. If you're hearing all this, you're like, great, and also I'm not quite sure how to trust that inner alignment. The meditation is available and you can listen to it anytime. The equinox, which is, I believe, next weekend, not this one, but the following one, is also supporting us in finding that balance. It's how do we I mean, we're going to visually see it, the balance of light and dark, day and night, but it's an energy at the same time. We can match the energy of the equinox. The sun is moving into Libra. Libra is the sign of balance and harmony and partnership. So there are, what would I call it? Activations, exclamation marks in astrology that are coming up at the same time that we're being offered these resources to balance ourselves, to steady ourselves, to harmonize within ourselves. I really feel like this time on our planet is so much about mastering ourselves. Pluto in Capricorn has broken down a lot of the structures within and around us that maybe didn't have us trust ourselves. Pluto in Aquarius, I feel like, is just going to continuously bring us back within to our own power, to our own knowing, trusting our intuition, trusting our navigation. And from that, magnetizing towards us those people who are going to co-create with us from that place of internal power. I talked about this on Insight Timer the other day. It just lights me up every time I think about it and talk about it. I think I've talked about it here in the podcast too. This idea that we're going to co-create communities together that have such similar interests, that come together because we have something to do. I talked about this last week. Something to do together that is stronger and more powerful when we're doing it in a collaborative way. And that our internal alignment is going to be the force that brings us together. It's so exciting. And there's work to do. There's inner alignment to happen so that we can move to that next co-creative space. Yep. The thoughts that go through my head, there's so much. I think so much about the future, and I dream, I visualize, my mentor Melanie would say, I cast energetic projections. I see what I believe is possible, and it's so real to me. It's so tangible. It feels like it's just the next doorway, the next chapter, and we're just waiting for it to come into fruition. It doesn't feel like fantasy or make-believe or some movie that will never come into reality. It feels very real. And the more I talk about it, the more I strengthen that energetic projection, that future vision. I bring it closer. And I think that's true for all of us. The more that we see it clearly, feel it, embody it, talk about it, manifest it, it comes into reality, because we're the dreamers of our reality. We're the creators of our reality. There's this huge tickle in my throat as I'm saying all that. And I'm still clearing blocks. And I'm still moving energy. And there's still more alignment, always more alignment to do. So as we wrap up this energetic transmission, I am so excited to just keep sharing the ways that you can play with me and co-create with me in this energy. This time right now is just filled with potential. And I believe when we have clear mirrors around us, those who hold steady, who see us in our highest expression and reflect that back to us, it helps us internalize it. It strengthens what we already know inside. It's not that it validates it because you need to be validated. It validates it because it adds fuel to your momentum. You already know, but then there's this extra energy and fuel that's added. And that's what I'm offering in Metamorphosis Mentorship. You already know. You're already on your path. You're already doing your work. You're not a beginner. You've been doing this thing perhaps for quite a while, and you can feel these astrological currents I'm talking about. You're already strong. You're already steady. You don't need anything. But it would be amazing to have continuous accountability and steady reflections that push you. Is push the right word? Push is the right word. Like the energy of that nudges and pushes you forward to maybe speed up a little bit the path that you're on. So maybe something that you would be exploring that would take you a year or two to actually walk your way through. When you're in a container, especially with me as your guide, when you're in a container with others and the focus is on transformation, metamorphosis, transformation, moving through the cycles to complete this expression of who you're becoming, it adds fuel to that. It adds extra emphasis within yourself. This is what has always happened to me when I'm in mentorship spaces. The accountability, the collective energy that we co-create, that we generate, gives me extra oomph, extra momentum. It's like, okay, I got to do the thing. I want to do the thing because I'm ready to move, because I want to go into that next version of who I'm becoming. It excites us, lights us up. We already know who we are and where we're headed. We've already defined it, or we're very close to clearly defining it. But this speeds the journey up, the process of it up. Some people call it timelines. You hop timelines, or, transition between timelines. I feel like our soul already has the timing of everything in its perfection outlined for us, and our human is just flowing with that timeline. But I do believe there are fast tracks. It's kind of like when you're at the amusement park and you could wait in line and you'll eventually get on the ride, and the ride will be amazing. Or you can sort of collapse time, and you buy the fast track and then you walk past all the people who are in the line and you go to the front of the line. And when you're in the front of the line, you get on the ride sooner. It doesn't mean the ride is any different. It doesn't mean the line is good or bad. It just means you collapse the time so that when you get to the ride, you enjoy it sooner. You have the same ride, you get off the ride, and you can go to another ride where the other people are still waiting in line. That's the best description of metamorphosis mentorship. It's already going to happen, and you can collapse some of the time. So that's the first big opportunity or offering that I would share with you if you haven't heard about it yet, or you've been curious about it. We begin next week on Thursday. Of course, as all of these energies are shifting, we begin on Thursday, September 19th. You can join later, but you'll miss some of the sessions. So I would suggest, if you're on the fence, to really look at it and sit with yourself and then step in so that you can be on the first call. And then in November, I am hosting a retreat in person. It's now live and up on my website. It's called Coming Home Together. And we are going to be at the beach in Florida in a beautiful home, a small home by the beach that I'm going to rent. And we are going to gather Monday the 18th, Tuesday the 19th as Pluto crosses into Aquarius, and then Wednesday the 20th. And we are going to co-create magic alignment. We're going to have completing ceremonies, releasing ceremonies for what we have been through in Pluto and Capricorn since 2008. We're going to weave all of those last threads into this beautiful crystallized awareness. And then from that space, we're going to start visualizing who we're becoming in the Pluto and Aquarius journey. What does that mean for our individual lives? What does it mean for our work, the way that we share our gifts with the world? How's that going to flow into our relationships? How do we structure our health so that we can really step into the best, most resourced humanness as the soul starts to expand in bigger ways, express in bigger ways? What we will be doing over 3 months in Metamorphosis Mentorship can also be collapsed even further into 3 days at Coming Home Together. You can do both, which would be amazing, and you can do the spread out version, you can do the collapsing time version. 3 days with me in person is really good. Really good. Very magical. I am a whole bunch of love with a very strong accountability coach inside of me that sees through a lot of the bullshit stories that we tell ourselves. And I do it with so much love and so much kindness and such steadiness that you can squirm a little bit, but you already know. You already know. And I see through it. And so you can't really hide. And when we are in person together, it's like I can say the thing to you, and then I can just sit next to you and hold your hand or put my hand on your shoulder or on your leg and just breathe with you through it. Sometimes if you're really brave, this has happened in so many sessions in person. If you're really brave, I can sit across from you and I put my hand on your heart chakra and we just breathe together. And the energy transmission that moves through that moment is absolutely incredible. It's a way to activate your heart chakra that is so direct, soul to soul. It's from my infinite consciousness through my physical body, through my hand to your heart, activating through your physical body, and then your consciousness shifts. Those heart-to-heart sessions are, I believe, life-changing because we come into synchronization together. We come into a harmony together that you can do it over the phone and in Zoom, but in person it's just different. It's more. It's more. It's more. And the laughter and the irreverence that I bring to life when we are in person together is pure joy. So it translates in video, obviously, if you're feeling it right now with me in this podcast, and it's happening in so many other spaces where I'm in video exchanges with people. But in person, at the beach, as Pluto moves into Aquarius, is going to be really a once-in-a-lifetime moment. So that information is under events on my website. I'll put the link below if you want to learn more. You'll know. It's only for 10 to 14 people. We'll see who answers the call. This is a soul-to-soul calling. We'll see who answers, and it's going to be absolutely perfect. And I'll be sharing little nuggets of the magic that feel appropriate as we move through this time. We're at episode 491. We are on our way to episode 500. How even are we at episode 500? If you had told me when I started this years ago, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, I'll stop at 100 at the most. Nope. 500 episodes, and we will celebrate that right before Pluto moves into Aquarius. I could not have timed it from my mind. I could not have orchestrated the way that the energy has brought us into such perfect divine timing. It's beyond the beyond when I try to look at it from a headspace. So I continue to trust the energy that is carrying us. I continue to show up and articulate it for you, for us, and we'll see where the next few weeks are going to guide us. The next few months, really. It's good. It's really good. Okay, that's what's happening. All the resources will be there for you. If you have any comments, questions, you know how to reach me. Send a message, comment below. Let me know what's happening, how this is feeling for you. This time is feeling for you. And yeah, sending you so much love. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.